Yeah, here we are. It's another Friday and time for another movie for all you moviegoers. Not too long a one this week. The most of the time, I intended to spend more time on the little green car back in there, right? But then this one here beckoned me, so away I went. And I did get the door fixed, so the door works now, which is, nice news for that. Open door, hey? Shut door, the way it should be. You don't have to lift it up and slam it on there. So that works good. I'm happy with that. The gaps are all right. You'll see all that if you hang around a bit. Then I went to work trying to get the motor to run, which is interesting stuff today and yesterday and the day before. Something's not right with the fuel injection. I do believe I've got it centered down to this little thing in here, which is like a bellows thing. Anyhow, I will, so the vacuum lifts that bellows, and then that creates more fuel going through those things. I'll take it apart and have a look at the whole thing. I think that it's likely just gunky and dirty in there. There you go. Anyhow, that's for tomorrow, but that's all for this week here. And stick around, you'll see what happened. Yeah, so here's a new week. It's, what day is it? Sunday, May 15th. So, I've been working on a number of projects. I got, well, let me see if I can show you here now. There's a button I can press to make this go around the other way. There we go. That took a while, didn't it? Anyway, in this shop is the Westphalia, and I've been slowly working away at that. The motor is waiting. I'm waiting for parts, so that'll be a little bit coming on that thing yet. Then over here now, where is it? There's my tractor, and I was out tractoring yesterday with the, I had the, I don't know if you can see that, but over about there somewhere is the tiller. So I put that on and got the gardens tilled up. They're ready to go, and then I put the what do you call that thing? That thing there is the mower. I put that on, and then I went out and did some more mowing down at the neighbor's place and on the road on the trail to the beach and stuff like that. So then in here I've had the Honda out. Now the Hondas are amazing little machines because they just go. You don't have to think about it. They just start up and go. And so I've been out running around on that a little bit. Then the Triumph, which I have been working on regularly, and this week I think I'll do some work on cleaning up the paint a little bit on the sides, and actually it looks pretty damn nice in here. Clean up the paint a bit on the sides and finish any more mechanical work plus some of the interior work to, I don't know if you can see this stuff here. Up here, let me point up. Yeah, up along this rail here, there's got to be a piece of vinyl put on there, then the mirrors and things like that. So that will be coming soon. Maybe this week, maybe not. We'll see what happens. Then, because I'm waiting for parts on that Volkswagen there, I might just take a run at getting the, might as well have 18,000 things going at once. So I might take a run at getting this Porsche just to see if it'll run. I think it will. I don't think there's much wrong with the motor in it. I wouldn't mind checking it out and seeing. So that could be something that I do here this week also. So maybe I'll give you a hodgepodge of stuff this week to jolt over. Yeah, now here's something for all the curious, including me. And I've went and there's some Pretty good octopus stuff there. And can you see that on the battery? There, sorry. Somewhere out there. Yeah, on the battery anyhow. There's some pretty good octopus stuff there. But all the wires seem to hook up. And so, let's go see what happens. The door is falling off it, right? But that hasn't changed since we got it. And in here, where am I? Turn the key. I put the battery in. Everything comes on. Makes noises. And it sort of runs. You can hear the fuel pump start up. That's running. Not for long, mind you, but it is running. I don't know whether there's some gauges over here that come alive. Might be out of gas. You never know. Yep, so whatever is going on, it's just like maybe it's out of gas. Seems that the fuel pump can't quite keep up with it, eh? Cool. Well, it runs. Sort of. Maybe I'll put some fuel in it and see what happens. I wonder if I have some fuel to put in it. Check it out. There, that's a pleasant surprise, eh? We'll just see what happens if I put some fuel in it. Not running very well, but it is running. I don't hear anything bad in there. Maybe it's just got to clean itself out. There may be a... Oh, there it went backwards. Maybe there's an animal living in there. Who knows? Or maybe there was. Maybe there was an animal living in there, hey? Try it again. Like everything's working. All the gauges and everything works. That's amazing. Even the headlights popped up. I'll show you in a minute or two. Yeah, poor thing. Anyway, I'll show you the headlights. This is kind of cool. Watch. Headlights up. They don't turn on the headlights, but they do turn up. And all of the, even the glove box light is working. My. But all these other lights, like the side lights, well, there, one headlight's on. And all the side lights work. Don't know if the tail lights work. This one here doesn't. Those ones do. I'll be. Isn't that something? I wonder if the... It says it's flashing. Oh yeah, it's flashing there. It's flashing there. Pretty fast. Need a slower flasher. Huh, very cool. I didn't expect that it would run so easily. It's not running great, but I didn't expect it would just start up like that. And I didn't expect everything would work just like that. So, thanks, Dakota. I think we got a winner here. I think we got something we can work with. Huh, cool. Give it one more try and see if it'll decide to run a bit better. Oh, high beams are on. I don't know how to change that. There. That does it. Oh, that's the heater fan even works. I think that was a heater fan. Don't know how to turn it. button there for something. Who knows, eh? That says that it's got the rear window defroster, hazards work. Don't think there's any brakes. No, there's no brakes, but there's a good clutch in it. Maybe this. Nothing happens with that fan. Oh yeah, something's coming on. Well, there's a fan there. Anyway, I'll sort those things out later. Yeah, well, they're running a bit smoother now, and I think it all comes down to airflow. So there was a bunch of these weren't hooked up very well, and so it wasn't when it's running an injection system, which is something I learned off the other Volkswagen, is it's got an airflow measurer. So if the airflow is not being measured through this part here, right here, then it won't run. So you got to make sure that there's no missing components in there. For starters, I still haven't got it so that it'll accelerate, but at least it's running fairly smooth there now. And sounds right. I don't know what's happening at the back end here. Is there exhaust? Yeah, the exhaust. In there. Yeah, the exhaust feels all right, and there's no blackness on my hands. So, what the hell? Actually, it sounds really good now. If I could get it to accelerate, I imagine it needs a new timing thing there, whatever you call those belts. Let it run for a while, warm up, and see if it starts to decide to run properly. Oh, more stuff falling off the roof. Does the tachometer work? Is there a tachometer? Yeah, the tachometer even works. And the dashboard lights work. Starting to speed up now for no apparent reason, but. And the temperature is coming up, so the temperature gauge works. I guess it's running. Don't know what happens if I hit the gas. Yeah, if I hit the gas, it just goes to hell, right? Stops. I'll let it idle for a while and then see if it'll sort itself out. It may be just like a clogged fuel filter somewhere in there. We'll see. Anyway, I think that's. Well, there it stopped. No, it ran so nice for so long, and then it decided to stop again. Anyway, seems to run. That's all I know about that one for now. Yeah, well, here I am, back again on the 924 Porsche. Porsche 924? Yeah, what? Porsche? Who knows how to call it, right? Anyhow, yesterday I did get it to run, and quite happy about that. But today now I'm going to work on the door here, because this is, if I can't get in and out of it, I'm not a very happy guy. See if I can get this camera to work the way I want it to. Hang on. How's that now? Yeah, now. Yeah, so the camera sometimes does what it wants to do, right? So, here I am. The front hinge here is broken. You can maybe see that. So I want to go ahead and get that removed, take the door off, see if I can fix that, put it back on, and maybe have a door that works, right? Then I'll drain the gas out of the tank and see about all the pumps and filters there and carry on from there. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. Yeah, not having much luck here yet. So I took the door card off, just a bunch of screws around there, and that gets that out of the way. This is the electrics for the electric mirror, which has been repaired before. Perhaps that's how they got the wiring back out of there. They just cut that. So I guess I'll cut that again and get that wiring out of the way. That's not difficult. Then they did a bunch of duct taping on the inside, but what the hell, eh? And all the pens fell out. I don't know, can you see them? There, pens, right? Fell out of the pocket when I opened it. Anyway, all that being said, not in bad shape otherwise. So, this top bit I'm not going to worry about. I'm going to see if I can get these bottom screws out. I'll put some heat to them. And they just don't want to come out. I'll put some heat to them and try that. Yeah, there it is. It's off. No more door on there, right? The door's over here. So I did have to resort to violence. These things here wouldn't come out in any way at all, so can you see that? Where's right there? They wouldn't come out, so I had to cut them off with a cutter. These ones here, they still aren't out. I've got some penetrating oil on them. I'm going to hit them again with, where is it now? Pointing the wrong way, of course. Got penetrating oil on them. I'm going to hit them again with penetrating oil. See if that'll work. How come doors have to be the heaviest part of a car? And then this part here, I guess I'll have to just cut it out here and put some new stuff in here. That's where the center of the door lines up right there. I'll put an etching mark there because I'm pretty sure I'll ruin that somehow. And the same thing here. I'll have to fix this up. Not quite sure yet how. That may be able to get welded back together if I'm careful about it, because there's nothing wrong with the metal. It was just the only reason that it was, am I pointing the right way? Yeah. The only reason that it was broken like that is because this part here up above was broken and putting a lot of pressure on that. So I think I can, if I can get that pushed back into the right spot, I'll weld that back in, and then I'll fix up this bit up here. Anyway, there, that'll be a project. Yeah, so those things all came out of there with my secret weapon. So that's what was there, eh? And that screw was seized in there pretty tight. I put a bunch of blaster on it. And then my secret weapon is a pipe wrench. Get a pipe wrench tight on there and it'll hold anything. The inside of it is an Allen key thing, and that was sliding in there, so it wasn't holding anymore. So I'll get some new bolts for that. I have some over there. Anyway, that seems to be all right. I'm happy there. Yeah, the bottom one has a little bit of looseness in it, but the top one's nice and solid. So now this part here on the back, I'll clean that all off and then see if I can get it back into the right spot. Which way does it go? Like that, eh? I imagine it goes the same as the one on the bottom. I can check on the other side anyhow. But I think this is the top and that's the bottom. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, there now. I picked up this Porta Power thing one time at Princess Auto when it was on sale. And it's pretty handy to, get jammed into places where you can. So I pushed this into here, and now I'll get the welder and I'll weld that. I'll tack it on here. Then I'll move the Porta Power thing down to here and push that in. And then weld it up and see how it works out. Yeah, here we are. So, what's going on now? So this thing here, there's frame behind here. I cut that bit out of there. I have to do a little bit of trimming up around here. I need a finer tool for that. This one here, I just welded it back on, and I don't know if it's I imagine it's okay. It feels pretty solid, so it's still welded onto the frame underneath there, I think, for the most part. Anyhow, that's the way it'll be for now. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, so here you go. Now, I've got that piece, those two pieces there, those tabs welded on there. Now I'll make a piece to go across the front. But now, for all you guys that wonder why I wear jeans all the time and don't wear shorts, well, this thing here, see how that is all wrecked? It jammed in there, kicked back, and jumped down and got my leg here. Can't really tell because the jeans are covering, but I got a band-aid on it. Anyway, the jeans took most of the brunt of it, and just a little tiny scratch or enough to make blood, but not deep. Anyway, that's why you wear safety gear, right? Anyway, there you go. Be careful. Yeah, there now. I built a piece to go in here. Now I'll mark a couple of spots where it's got to be spot welded to behind here. But that's a fairly complex little piece all of a sudden. But it seems to fit really well, so I'm going to go with it. And now I'm going to line up the outer piece on top of this, and then I'll mark it off, and I'll actually I'll spot weld it to this, then drill a couple of holes and go right through it to plug weld on that. That sound like a plan? That should work. Famous last words. That should work. Yeah, small change of plans. So I'll plug weld this on here and get it all welded around, because if I had that piece on there, I wouldn't be able to weld that edge of it, right? So, and then I'll drill at least one hole in here, plug weld it, and then I'll weld around the top of it. And that should make it pretty damn solid, eh? I think so. There you are. Yeah, there now. That's welded in. Hot. I have to make a piece to go in here. I thought I'd make that separate because it's very complex. Trying to do it all together. This is plug welded well on there. That's welded around the edges nicely. This little hole here is for the courtesy light. And then this piece here sits right like about that somewhere. And that should make the door work now. And I did get those nuts out of there, or the bolts, so I can put that door back on and just see if it fits. That'll be nice. Anyway, there you go. That's all for today. Anyhow, it's like supper time, so I'm going to let this thing cool down and go have some supper. Yeah, so here I am back at it. Now, yesterday was a bit of a write-off. Didn't get anything done, which is, one of those days. So I made this little piece here to fit right in there. Need a magnet to hold it in. Whoops, where am I pointing? Yeah, there you are. Need a magnet to hold it in there, but that'll be all right. I'll just weld it into that hole, and then can you see that? There it is. I'll weld it in there, and I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, now there's that piece is welded in there. Not very pretty up there, but it'll be all right. I'll check and make sure that little door thing goes in here before I weld everything together. And then I've got this, a little bit warm, ready to go. I got plug holes for plug welding there, and whoops, goes like this, there and there, and that's about where it should sit, right about there, methinks. So I'll get that welded on. I'll just tack it in a couple of spots and then I'll plug weld it and see how it works out. There, now that's on there and looking good, and I put this thing on for turning the courtesy light on. Then also I've got this, the electric for the door going in there, and I just clean that up a little bit right there. Wonder where I'm pointing there. Clean that up a bit right there. So everything is ready to go back together, except I need some new bolts for it. So maybe I've got to go into town and pick up a thing anyhow, so I might as well go and pick up some proper sized bolts. See if I can. Anyway, I'll be back shortly. Yeah, so here's a failure, hey? So now the door swings nice, but hangs kind of low. So I don't know quite how to get that adjusted in there now. Gonna take some thinking. I might have to cut that door mount out and push it in a little bit somehow. Oh dear me. I'll see what I can come up with. Yeah, so now I've got that back off without absolutely destroying it, which is yay for me, right? Then, so what I'm going to do is I'll move it up a tiny bit because it's got to be up a tiny bit. Then I cut out behind here. Whoops, I'm going to trip all over everything. I cut out behind here so that I can put some spacers and push that back a little bit. So I'll do a test fit on the door here and just see if I should have done test fits before, right? But anyhow, I'll do a test fit on the door and see if I can get that back far enough with a couple of spacers in here, behind here, and that would make it fit better. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so there you have it. They're all hooked in there, and the wires are hooked in, and this wire should be more into there, or more into there or something. Anyhow, I'll get that sorted out. And watch this. Door closes. Gaps are all okay. A little bit close right here when you open the door, but I think we're all right. I'd like it down that side. It's good. So wait till I get turned around here. Nothing hanging out there. A little bit, maybe at the bottom I could push it in a bit. But here it's all okay and everything feels good. Everything feels good along there. Top looks all right. A little bit wide gap right there. I'm going to check the other side. Just see what it looks like there with the door closed. Less wide, right? Where am I? Right here. I'm gonna have to go back and yeah, so it hangs a little bit there, but I don't know that I can do anything. I could do something about that just with a bit of body work, and I think I won't get too involved in that because it's not too bad. It's only like an 1/8 too big, right? And I'm happy with this. Yep. I can do my imitation of Pet Detective, opening and shutting the door, right? Anyway, there you go. Success, yay. That was here. So what I did, I've cut this off of here again, right? And I still have to weld this on. So I have to take the door off to weld that on, but I'll get to that. Where am I? Am I looking in the right spot? Yep. So I made space underneath this so that I could put some spacers in behind this bracket so that the door would move in that way a little bit. Now I don't know whether this was because it was so long with the door hanging funny and welded up bad and everything like that, that the to be able to get it in there properly was a bit of a challenge. But there is, behind here there's body like framework, and behind here there's framework, and it's welded on there pretty solid. So I'll go ahead and I'll weld this back in, clean it up a bit, and that would be that, right? Yeah, there, that's all back together, and even the little tunnel there is in place. Now I have to put those, get those wires resoldered, but I'm not going to do that right away. And it closes. Gaps look all right. Like I said, it was a little bit wide right there, but mostly it's all right. Looks good down there. So I can be happy with that. That's now all that work was just to make it so I can get in and out of the car more easily when I'm trying to start it. And the guy didn't check the gap at the bottom, but it's nice and flat and level. Looks like it's hiding a little bit high, but if I make it go down a little bit, then that'd make that wider there. So that would be not what to do. So I'm going to have to be happy with it the way it is. Okay, that's good. I'm a happy guy. The door, there you go, Dakota. The door works just like a normal door. That's very satisfying, isn't it? There you go. One door works. Check the other side, see if I screwed that up, eh? I don't think I did. I haven't been over here. Haven't had a chance to screw this side up. That one there sounds a little better than the other side. Like that's that nice solid sound, eh? So, I've got all the inner guts out of the door over there, so it's sounding a bit tinny. That's my story. I'm going to stick to it anyhow. There you go. Now, what's next? I think it's next is I want to drain the gas tank, check the filters and stuff like that, and then I'll try starting it once again. Anyway, that's all for today for the 1979 Porsche 924. It's a Porsche, as far as this says, 924. Okay, bye for now. Yeah, here I'm back at it again. So today now, I want to drain the fuel out of there. See how that works out. I think I'll just take the hose off for starters, because that's a fuel pump right there on the bottom of the tank. There's a tank pump, and then there's an exterior pump. So I'll see if I can get that out of there somehow or other. See what happens. Yeah, there you are. So here, this thing, that's what goes into the tank, and there's supposed to be an in-tank fuel pump on this thing, which is a primer pump to make sure fuel gets to the main pump, right? So in this car, it seems that they've moved the fuel pump down parallel with the tank at a lower level so that it primes itself, sort of. And they got rid of this inline fuel pump, or this fuel tank, in-tank fuel pump. And reading online, it seems that the in-tank fuel pump that you can get nowadays doesn't really fit this car. And so, what the hell. Now, they had wires hooked onto this, so I'll just unhook those wires and let them be. I'll hook it back up. I'll sort of clean it out. But I did get all the fuel out of it, and I've put it into the lawnmower, which takes a little bit, it's not so fussy about fuel. And I put some into my little Honda over there. It looked like fairly clean fuel, so I might as well use it up there. And then the dirty stuff I put into a bucket that has to go to the dump. Anyway, and then the O-ring that was in there came apart, of course. So I don't know if this O-ring will work or not. We'll just see. I'll give it a try. There, I'll sort of clean things up, put it back together, and that is all I know about that for now. So they say that the car will run well with just the main fuel pump on those forums, and it's got a new fuel pump in it. So the running problem is not to do with the fuel pump, I don't think. The running problem might have been to do with poor fuel. And I'll see if I can get better quality fuel into it to see what happens. Yeah, where am I now? So I took off all that stuff underneath there. And then now I'm putting it back together, and I'll put a bit of fuel in it and see what happens. So I cleaned out the yuck that was in the bottom of the tank. It really wasn't that much yuck in there. So anyway, we'll see what happens. There you go. Yeah, no, I don't know if you'll see this or not, but I'm trying to get a shot of that cold start injector working. No, it seems to pour a pretty good thing of fuel into the system there. I don't know, can you see that? I don't think you saw that. No, it's not doing it. Yeah, hang on. There I was, talking to nothing again. Here's the cold start injector now. Can you see that thing? Where is it? Right in the middle of this, sort of in the middle of the screen there. You should be able to watch this. So that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to get a nice spray of fuel going into the system, like that. Now, that works. So it's getting some fuel to the cold start. I'll put that back in, and then I'll see if I can get the injector out of number 1 cylinder. Yeah, so here I am now. Ran into a bit of a problem here. Somebody had been fooling with this one before, and there's supposed to be a hose going out to there. It's a number 2 piston, I think it is. Yeah, number 2. Yeah, hopefully that's number 1. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. So this number 2 piston, the hose came apart. And so, don't you know, it didn't hold pressure at all. So what did I do? I had to fix it up a bit. I'll show you how. Yeah, so here I am in the other shop, hey? Over here with the Volkswagen. So, anyhow, this end here, this part, the banjo fitting, had pulled out of this hose here, which is steel reinforced over plastic. So I took off this thing here, which is just a crimp-on thing there. Then I pulled, you can pull this steel down because you know how it moves fairly easily along there. Then I was able to stick that hose, which is plastic hose, but into this, like it's into the 5/16 inch hole of this thing, which is a double flange brake kit that I happen to have, right? So that's stuck in there, and that would hold it at the appropriate height so that I could then push that, get that banjo bit, which is on a, it's like a, I'll show you, hang on. Yeah, so the banjo bit is on a fitting like focusing failed. I wonder why that would be. Anyway, I don't know what it's focusing on, but the banjo is on a fitting like that, but smaller, eh? And so I wanted to push it straight in, not screw it in or anything like that. So that thing here was able to hold it so I could take a little hammer and just tap it in gently. Then after that was done, I pulled up the steel again, and I had expanded this thing. There's a seam here at the back. I expanded that, and then I have from another life. I wonder where that tool went. I have another tool here. Wait a minute, I'll find it. Oh, here it is, over here. So from another life, when I was doing stuff with antennas and stuff like that, this kind of a tool here was handy for crimping things like that. So it just crimps, you put it on there and it just crimps that down tight. So anyhow, that's back to serviceable, I hope. We'll just put it on and see what happens. Yeah, here we go, take 2, right? So down in here, this is the air box. You can't really see, but there's a thing in there that, now I've got the system pressured up, there's fuel pressure in it. So if I'm looking in there and I press up on this thing, then don't you know, get a nice spray of fuel off of that thing. So that means this thing here must be dirty and messy. So I'll just take it apart and clean it up and maybe get somewhere that way. Yeah. So fuel injection. Does it just open up all the valves at once? Like when that thing, it's not like an electronic fuel injection, this one. It's not mechanical either. So as soon as that thing opens up in there, then that sends a signal to there to open those up and let pressure through. So then again, is there not enough pressure on the system, or it seems to be lots of pressure, but oh dear me, I don't know. But I'll take this apart tomorrow and see if I can get it to figure it out. That's all for today, and that's all for this week. So some success. I got the door fixed, right? And it fires, it just doesn't run. So we'll put a bit more time into it next week. I'm still waiting for parts for the Volkswagen, and I should do some more work on the Triumph. Maybe I'll go back to that next week for a little while and see if I can finish cleaning that up and get it ready for inspection. Am I waiting for anything for that? I don't think so. I think I just have to get it cleaned up and ready for inspection. Yeah, and I have to fix one thing on the front end. There's at the end of the tie rod, which is anyway, but at the end of the tie rod on this side, there's a bolt or a nut missing, and it's a safety thing, so I got to fix that. Anyway, and I also have to got to get this cowling put on there and the windshield wipers put on there. Won't get very far in inspection without windshield wipers. But back to the little red car here. So next week, I'll do some more work on this. One of these days it'll run. I think I'm starting to understand it. It takes a while to get an understanding of these damn things. So we'll see how it goes. Anyhow, that's all for this week. Bye for now. Yeah, there's the, what do you call that? The major display coming into the cove. And we have a dog for movement. The dog's not moving very much.